Okay, so I didn't do 2 days worth of what is it called? 2 days worth of gem lives. One because I was busy and sorry, trying to get comfortable on the princess bed. But what had happened? I was planning to, even though we had our sister Angel's bridal shower on Saturday, but my phone, and anybody that knows me knows that I have to have my phone charged, but I didn't bring my wire to go to my portable charger. So the phone was dead and it was too dangerous trying to look for what is it called? Outlet. Because if I would have found one, my phone would have been charged, but I probably would have by the end of the night forgotten my phone. Like how I forgot my boots and speaker at my sister Stella's house. And I forgot my charger that didn't have a wire at my sister Carol's house. Not that I'm forgetful, but I might be a little bit forgetful. Anyways, so today's gems are gonna be about the bridal shower and and recovery. So the last live we had our impromptu co-host Adrian Lafiso. So grateful for him. And we were talking about how to stand up for yourself, how to be your own genuine self. And so right before I did this live, I was feeling super tired and and trying to figure out what was I going to share with you guys today, even though I kind of knew I was going to go in the direction of talking about Sister Angel's bridal shower and her prepping to getting married this March 15th, which is in like 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks probably at this time. And so I was thinking about that, and then I was like, okay, so what is the topic? It's going to be about dating, or is it going to be about love, or is it going to be about prepping for marriage, eternal marriage, if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? And I think because I've not posted for 2 days, it's going to be about all of it. And so the perspective of what it means to be a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and prepping for eternal marriage. And then the perspective of dating and traditional dating versus non-traditional dating and young single adult life dating considered and compared to mid-single and older. And so let's just start off with Angel's bridal shower. So we had it at Porcupine Pub and Grill up in Salt Lake. There's one in Salt Lake and then one Salt Lake by the U, like the university's right here, and it's like 2 streets from the university. But it's off 300 South and like I want to say 12th East, but look it up. They were the bomb. The atmosphere was bomb. So kudos to Sister Carol on getting that. But in the midst of prepping and going and then leaving, because we started off with a early evening dinner, and then after dinner we went to a ghost tour. So if you guys have never been to a ghost tour, look it up. It was nice because I get scared fast. So I was glad I wasn't scared fast. And our tour guide, her name's Beloved, fitting for the topic and this bridal shower. But Beloved was good. Um, there's a lot of information. Like if you go to the early one that starts at 9, it's more like a historical, like ghost tour type of feel, family friendly. But if you go to the later one that starts at 9 p.m., that one's like I feel like it's like the Exorcist one of ghost tours. But we didn't go to that. So they have ghost tours, I believe, that go all throughout the year. They have like a what's his name, Ted Bundy one. They have I can't remember. Anyways, back to the topic. So we were going through the night. We were just being our usual sister selves and being funny, and like I think it was a mix of uh being being lightweight, tired, but excited because we were celebrating um the fact that Angel's going to be married in less than 3 weeks. And I don't know if that's a text message. Anyways, so my mindset was like, as she was expressing how she was feeling about being a bride and um, not a fan of being celebrated, and also um, and like bridal bridesmaid brides. Oh, these people. Okay, let's. Okay, what not to do when you're on a live? I don't even know if. Hopefully that didn't start it over, and I'm not starting from the beginning thinking I'm where I left off. But anyways, um, brief on what this live is about. It's about dating, love, and celestial marriage. If you're aiming for that. Hello, Sister Tare. Thank you for joining me, myself, and Princess Bread. Just giving a rundown of our subject, which is today's live gem, is about love. So if you have anything to say about love and our weekend with Sister Angel, please, like Adrian chimed in last time, you are more than welcome to chime in today. And so I'm just talking about my perspective of dating and stuff. And yeah, so Angel's whole take on how it feels to be a bride and going forward. And and so it was nice to hear from her that she was like, at first I wasn't about it, but in having this bridal shower, she was like, okay, I get why people celebrate the bride and have these traditional things. And so it was heartwarming for us sisters, because if anything, all we wanted to do is make her feel like $1 million plus, $1 trillion times infinity. And then, so by the end of the night, it was heartwarming and satisfying to us to see that she was happy, and to kind of light the fire in us that the wedding is coming. The wedding is coming, and if we thought this weekend was something to recover from come March 15th, it's gonna be off the chain, because we're coming together with her fiance's family, and we're celebrating both of them. And so I think and we've had conversations with Tyree, a bunch of my other sisters out of the Provost sister circle, that it sucks trying to find the balance of dating, seeking, and waiting. Now, Tyree and I, we usually, out of our pack of sisters, we're the hunters, but we've learned the upsides and the downsides of being the hunter. The upside of being the hunter for me, and I won't speak on Tyree's opinion, Tyree can bring that up. Um, for me, the upside about being a hunter is um, realizing that if I want something, I don't have to wait. I don't I don't have to wait on permission from anybody. If I see what I want and I want it, I'm gonna, like Tyree helped me in my last, what is it called, episode. um we laugh about this, but in taking your shot, like there's some kind of like superhuman gratification of taking your shot, because by not taking your shot, you're left in always wondering. But on the downside, we've also learned that waiting and waiting on the Lord, waiting on letting the other person be ready to receive your taking your shot. It's wise, almost even more wise, to wait, because in taking your shot sometimes you're pretty much rushing the Lord. You're pretty much rushing the Lord, showing lack of faith and almost lack of self-control. And that has been a lesson I've had to learn years on years on years on years. And so I'm coming to grips with it. I'm getting way better than I was. So if any of my old crushes are watching, I thank you for not being a total jerk about uh passing me up. So, because if anything, I'm glad that we've been able to remain friends, but not only remain friends, not get into a relationship that would have ended up like sour, waste time. Maybe not waste time, but sour, because I forced something that maybe not shouldn't have been forced. So um yeah, that was my whole thing and perspective of this past weekend with Angel, was that as happy as all of us sisters are and were for her, we too were looking at ourselves and like, okay, how can we level up and get to her level? What do we need to do to be prepared when that time comes? And then also, how can we restrain ourselves from being impatient? Because in past lives and videos, I know I've mentioned how hard it is to date in Utah. So this segment of the live are my pet peeves. And if you do this as married couples, or even just dating couples, if you do this to your single friends, let's try not to do it. Let's like press on the brakes. So over the years of being single forever, some people have made comments to me like, oh, you're too, what do they say? You're being too picky. I hate that. I hate that phrase, because I'm like, okay, if you were in my shoes, wouldn't you want to be a little bit? I'm not saying I'm picky, but would you just go for anybody if you who are saying this at this moment? So let's say somebody said to you and you're married, but now all of a sudden you're single. Would you say that to somebody? Would you want somebody to say that to you? I don't think so. Kudos to you for finding the love of your life, your eternity, but don't say to single people they're being too picky, because if they are, all you're causing is them to lower their standards and make them think there's something wrong with them. And if they're not too picky, or picky period, they're just gonna take whatever comes. Who wants that for their loved ones? I wouldn't want that for my loved ones, like my single sisters or brothers, friends, or whatever. So, married people, stop saying that. Stop saying that. Another thing that single people say to each other that gets on my last nerve is, oh, they're either your eternal companion or your boyfriend or whoever you're supposed to be. They're either not born yet. It's weird. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Or they say, oh, you'll meet them in the next life. Why in the hell would you say either one of those comments? The first one about him not being born, like, that's kind of just off. Tyree saying, I think there is a balance, but they do need to express it differently. Express which one differently, sis? Are we talking about the married people, or can you explain that? So, anyways, don't say that our spouse or our future eternal companion's not born yet. Don't say that. If you're single or if you're married, don't say that. And don't you single people tell each other, or you couples tell people, oh, you'll probably get married in the next life. That's like saying, what is that like saying? That's like saying if you're like at a Super Bowl game about to order a pizza and the pizza doesn't come, you're going to say, hey, you'll get your pizza at the next Super Bowl. You don't say that. Who's going to wait a whole damn year for a pizza? Am I right, Tyree, or am I going crazy? Anyways, let us know. Express the picky comment differently. Okay, I get what you're saying. So, I know I'm being a little bit extra with my asking you people how to express yourselves to single people, but Tyree's saying, please express yourself differently when you're telling us that we're being picky, because it's not fun. It's not fun. I forgot which sister I was having a conversation with, and we were talking about like how married people. It might have been Tyree, or it might have been Tyree and Carol, or just one or the other. But anyways, we were talking about like how another thing when married couples are, don't rush. You have time. Don't rush. It's not all that it's cracked out to be. I was like, what? What? And especially if you're married and you're telling me, who's been waiting like forever, I'm looking at you like, so you say don't rush. And I made this comment to Tyree and Carol like a month ago. I was like, but I'm already halfway almost to the grave. So how much more waiting do I, what? No. So I get take your time because you want to make sure the pick you choose is gonna love you and it's gonna be worth it, because what's the use of waiting 100 years and then you end up with a jerk? Okay, so Tyree is saying, because I believe there is no such thing as a soulmate and all things take work, including working towards your ideal state. I agree. If you had told 16-year-old Ova that there was no such thing as soulmate, I'd probably slap you. Not you, Tyree, but slap whoever. Because we come up in a culture, especially with all the chick flicks and all the slow jams and all of that, and all these poetry and whatever, that kind of like plays you into this mindset that there is only one soulmate, or there is only one soulmate. Anyways, soulmate. That, yeah, if you, no, there's no such thing as soulmate to me, and maybe to Tyree. Tyree, you could say if you agree, but whatever. But yeah, I agree with you, because if you look at the prophets and apostles, if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you see that they got married and they might have lost their spouse to what is it? To illness or death, and yet later, if not immediately after that death, they found their next spouse. Tyree, so yes, no one will meet perfection standards, but you must start somewhere, and it's not picky to have standards. Amen, Tyree. Amen. Because it is not picky to have standards. Like, to have standards is to set boundaries so people know how to treat you. Something that I am learning more and more in the last maybe 3 years is that you teach people how to treat you. People don't just treat you however. If you allow them to treat you a certain way, they're going to treat you that way, especially when it comes to relationships. And that's why we have to watch the way we let people love us, because if they know they could get away with things, they will sure us down. They if you let them call you names, they're gonna call you names, and tag it with, "Oh, I'm just joking." And when you call them out, "Oh man, you're so serious." No, no. Being in love is serious. Being in a relationship is serious. So you're not going to just act any kind of way. And that's my 2 cents on that. And so, um, Ty, do you have any questions you want to throw out there? I'm trying to think of a question. What would be a question? Ty, what would you tell the people about, um, well, actually, what can I share about your relationships? I don't want to ask the question. It'll be like, "Oh, really, Ova? You just want to put me on Front Street?" So, yeah, give me how far I can go. Um, Let me think of a funny. Okay, I have like books on how many times I've made myself look like a fool when it's come to dating and what is it? And crushing on people. So I'm trying to think of not my most recent, but um let's see. Okay, this is really mean. This is a mean one. So I was crushing on we just moved from California. I was crushing on this we'll call him we'll call him Seone, but he is not the anyways, to protect the identity. Um I was crushing on this guy named aka Sione, but that's not his real name. And this was in my sophomore year. And crushing on him forever. And everybody was crushing on him. And anyways, so our class was going to the library, and a few of my sisters were telling me we were going to Granite High. There's only a small amount of polys. There's probably 10 of us. And I never knew what a Tongan was until I moved to Utah. And I didn't even know my Tongan aunties that married into our family were Tongan. I thought when they were speaking, if I didn't understand them, assuming that they were Samoan, they were speaking higher Samoan language. So anyways, so I was crushing on this Tongan guy, and then, but this Balangi kid, like me, he looked like Screech off of, Saved by the Bell. But I'm not talking about looks, like, you know, I'm not that, like, physically you have to be attracted to people, I feel. But that wasn't even the thing with the Balingi kid. He was not my type, but he kept harassing me like for a week up to the point when we went to the library. But he never said anything. It was just the way he was acting. And so we had a dance that Friday. I think it was the Thursday we went to the library, and it was girls' choice to ask guys to dance. I was trying to get up the courage to ask. And this is not my proudest moment of my life. I promise. This is not my proudest moment. I'm only sharing this, and I'll explain after. So anyways, homie, like, you guys are him. I'm looking at you guys, and you don't even remember the kid's name. And I am me. He was like, "Overland, I just wanted you to know that I think he said like I was pretty or something. The syllables, just was, and I already in my head was like, he better not You better not. And he did. He's like, you're pretty. Also, and everybody that knows me, I've done really good in the last couple of years. But I used to be like, you say something, my hands are already in the air flying towards your body. So, anyways, he said it, and my fist went across, like from this to this, and I punched him in the nose. Messed up. I messed up. As soon as it happened, he ran out, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then the crush saw me do that to this kid. So even if, I rejected him not so violently, if I had not rejected him so violently, the crush would have saw it and he would be like, okay, yeah, she's a witch. Anyways, I'll come back to my point, but let's get back to Tyree. So Tyree says, when it comes to a person that is a member and has the expectation of celibacy, is it unrealistic to date someone that doesn't have the same standards? Tyree, you witch. Oh my gosh. Okay. If I could reach through the phone. Okay, so Terry, let me get this right. I'm gonna try to shorten it. So let's say, let me say this, Tyree, because you freaking caught me off guard. So you're saying if a virgin, you stupid, is it okay if a virgin dates somebody that's already experienced intimacy? Is it okay, right? Or am I just dumbfounded and baffled that I'm rewording what you're saying wrong? When it comes to a person that is a member and it's the expectation of celibacy, is it only so? Yeah. So if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and you are celibate, you're asking, is it unrealistic to date someone that doesn't have those standards? Sorry about the virgin. Okay, celibacy. Yeah, that's all I register when I hear celibacy, but I get what you're saying. So is it, people out there in the world, is it if you just can't have sex until marriage? Same thing, Tyrone. But to answer your question, when it comes to a person that remember has the expectation, so is it unrealistic to date? I don't think it's unrealistic to date that person if they don't have the same standards, but I do definitely think you gotta check yourself and make sure you keep your standards and that you don't compromise it. Because if you compromise it, then it makes it harder for you to, I feel, to stick to your commitments and your covenants. But that's my own personal opinion. I think that your celibacy would be it should be with whether he's in the church or not, it should be a standard of respect that he should have for you for having those standards and discipline. But yeah, okay. Your next question: is it realistic to date someone that doesn't have the same standards? I think it's realistic, but is it safe? I think my own personal opinion, and just going back to youth days and like my favorite prophet, Gordon B. Hinckley, is like, why would you test the waters? Like, curiosity will have you test the waters, or just pure boredom, I will have you test the waters. The the tiredness of being, I know that's not a word, but the just being tired of being obedient could have you really, in my opinion, um if you go that route and date people that don't have your same standards, at the end of the day, whether it's immediate or later down in the road, you could possibly be jeopardizing your testimony and your covenants. I guess another part of the question is, how long do you think a man would wait in that situation? Wait for you to not be celibate? How long do I think? Is that what your question is, Ty? How long do I think that a man would wait in that situation? If that's your question, my first instinct is, um, if he's a real man, it doesn't matter how long he waits. If he really values you and wants to have something with you, he will wait until Jesus comes to know that when you're ready to take that next step in the right place and the right time, he will wait. He will wait. But if he's selfish, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, um, if he's selfish and wants to take from you, then he will make you feel like you're wasting his time, and that he'll even make you feel to a point like it's your fault for making him wait, when in reality he just should be wanting to wait because he values you. My thing with relationship is, if they don't value you, then or just marry you, right? Yeah. Just marry you. But even in just marrying somebody so that you can be intimate, and we've had these conversations, Ty, that um after the cookie has been given, um doesn't mean that the man will stay. Doesn't mean like, if anything, and people, the cookie meaning your chastity, meaning your pearls. So we call it the cookie because we love Steve Harvey, and he has this whole 90-day rule thing that he tells young adults and people that are dating not to give up their chastity for 90 days, because and he doesn't, and he said this on his show, like, it doesn't mean you make 90 days and then you just give it to them. Like, that wasn't the point. The point was to see how committed they are. And if you think after 90 days that you're ready and this person's ready, and you'll have something even past 90 days after giving up the cookie, then, you found your person. So, yeah, Ty, good questions. Great questions. I think this segment is going to end on that. 3 gems for this whole topic of love, dating, and waiting, not waiting, pursuing, and taking your shot or not taking your shot. 1 gem is value yourself so that people can value your heart. 2nd gem is don't give up on being obedient to don't don't give up being obedient. If you're a member of Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, don't give up that obedience and giving out your chastity just because you've waited. Don't give up. And last but not least, if you're inactive and you have no hope about eternal marriage, and whether you're single or married and you've been married forever, you have no hope for going to the temple, I would say go see your bishop. And whether you're single or you are married, don't let the temple be your final destination type of thing, but understand that the temple is to reach, but also to return to over and over and over again as a couple, as a family. And yeah, don't give up on that. Don't give up. Don't give up. But do give up the things that are keeping you away from the temple. And that is my story. Love you, Ty. Thank you for being my viewer and my guest co host. I will call you later. Have a good day, guys.